Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Profesor Emeritus dan Sri Dato Dzulkifli and Razak, IIUM, Rector, members of University Management Committee, dealing with AHAS KIRKHS, and all the members of the forum. I am Anas Hayat bin Razak, the former president of Islamic Knowledge and Human Sciences Student Society. I am joined with Brother Faris Jafri, the current president of IIUM Student Society, just elected last month. Inshallah, we will be presenting on the nature and the scope of student activism in AHAS KIRKHS. Just to provide context for all of the members of the floor, Islamic Knowledge and Human Sciences Student Society, or better known as IIHSSS, is the fully based society of this AHAS KIRKHS. We have IIUM Student Union, the Student Society for the whole university students, we have MRC, and IIHSSS is the KBS, the fully based society of AHAS KIRKHS, responsible in managing all of the department-based secretariats as well as the welfare of academic and also the welfare for all 4,000 students of undergraduates in our Kuliah. And under IIHSSS, as mentioned, we have 10 department-based secretariats, as you can see, the Stats Country, Secretary of Psychology, Faith, and also Education, Sociology, and Anthropology. So here, I think we could appreciate the uniqueness of this Kuliah, the one and only Kuliah in this world that is integrating both human sciences and Islamic knowledge together. And this will be translated in how student activism is translated for the students in our Kuliah. As our mission for IIHS Society is integration towards perfection. What do we mean by integration here is that we see this in multi-dimension in terms of the multiculturalism of the society or the community of AHAS KIRKHS itself, from the staff, the students, the lecturers, from local, from international, as well as the multidisciplinary studies that are offered in our Kuliah. We have 10 different departments that have their own niche. Hence, we could see that in empowering integration by this vehicle of IIHS Student Society, we will achieve an ecosystem that is desirable, which is the perfection that we could see by using integration. And our mission is to act as federal and central authority governing the secretariats, the department-based society, and to foster the bond of unity and integrate students under one banner of the Kuliah. We could see that there may be divisions between IIK and HL before, but with an empowerment of IIHS to the society, with the support of the of our Kuliah from all of the 10 departments. Now we will move on to the scope of activities in using AHAS KIRKHS ethos. These are just some of the highlights for today's presentation. Number one is to keep it on mental well-being of the students in terms of the context of our Kuliah. We have a Department of Psychology, and I think the role of us is to advocate. Number one is to advocate on the importance of mental health. We have been advocating using our initiatives of Youth Stress Mental Health Advocacy for every week to improve everyone's understanding on mental health issues. And we have collaborated with IIUM TV, IIUM FM on New Mental Forum series in collaboration with them, which are 9 webinars which are concerning of mental health. But we do not want to always advocate, but we want to intervene as well in terms of our project, which is Peer Psychosocial Team Support Project, which is a collaboration with Secretariat of Psychology, Impact and Psychology Services Unit, which is an intervention project for those AHAS KIRKHS students that would like to have mental health support. And I think recently, this team, Peer Psychosocial Support, had launched an initiative for those AHAS KIRKHS students that are affected with flood, in terms of what can we help for them. Next is on empowerment of specialization. We could see that as the Kuliah-based society, what we had done, for example, before is a symposium with Professor Emeritus and Sri Dr. Kamal Hassan, the founding dean of the Kuliah, in terms of bridging the discipline of Islamic knowledge and human sciences And this is what we would like to empower as the Kuliah-based society, which is to relevantize both of the knowledge together in terms of the Islamization and the integration and relevantilization of Islamic knowledge and human sciences. And those are also some of the examples. For example, we have thoughts from the Secretary of Political Science in terms of the budget 2022, Quranic concept of history, posting skills workshop, and also Muzakarah Fatwa from Islamic Knowledge Association, also Islam and English Studies. So this is where we would like to empower the secretariats to empower their own niche. Because I think in terms of social issues, it is very important for them to, I would say, advocate and to expound their knowledge. And we can also see it in terms of talk on period poverty, which is a hot issue right now, is on the rise. So this is where and how we empower the specialization. We also empower the multi diversity in our kuliah by having by calling, inviting our friends from our international friends and having unity university campaign by telling them for them to advocate or to share the culture, which is not really happening during COVID times because they're not dealing with each other. They are all at their own country. So this is an initiative that we are trying to do in terms of our unity university campaign. And lastly, another thing that we would like to highlight is on the democratic empowerment in our kuliah. Previously, we did not have an election in our kuliah, which is a waste because we have the Department of Political Science. But then, Alhamdulillah, Dato had introduced the election of AHAS University since 2020. We have done 3 elections, and I would say that the level of political literacy had increased in our kuliah students, whereby the first election we only had 22% voters turn out. 22%. Out of 4,000, only 22%. And then it was increased to 34.2. And then lastly, the one that Faris was elected, it has increased to 48.2% voters turnout, Alhamdulillah. So 1,900 students went out to vote, which is something that we could be proud of having students that will vote for their own respective leaders in the kuliah of the department. Now I will pass to Brother Faris.
Thank you, Brother Nasaidan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Emeritus dan Dato Dzulkifli and Razak, the Deputy Rectors, the senior members, as well as the other members of the floor. So today I will be presenting the way forward for our AHAS Student Society, as well as some of our plans for the future with this one slide. So with regards to the way forward of our AHAS Student Society, of course, my vision with regards to the next tenure, this tenure, is to carry on to number one, properly have a succession plan for the past efforts that we've done. We believe we've done plentiful amounts of services for the students, and we elevated the kuliah-based society as a concept to much more service-based society, rather than creating one-off programs that is not really sustainable. So we aim to continue these efforts in terms of our academic efforts with regards to the help desk, with regards to attending to the students' needs, as well as in terms of our welfare efforts, in creating a list of financial assistance for the students, as well as in terms of our community engagement efforts. We've made some strides at that front as well with the start of the tenure. So one of the first points that I would like to share with regards to our way forward is to further champion each specialization of our secretariats. We have 10 secretariats, 3 of which are new actually, with the start of the new tenure. Previously, the Islamic River Knowledge Secretariats were combined to just one secretariat, ISRA. But looking forward, looking into the future, we decided to further make them, further create more specialized secretariats for Usul Din, for Usul Fiqh, as well as Quran and Sunnah, so that they can uphold their niches in terms of their programs in a much more specific manner, so that we do not have general Islamic programs, but rather ones that further champion their niches. So this is a part of our efforts to showcase the multidisciplinary aspects of the kuliah itself. The second point is with regards to nurturing Ummati values, while the first point was with regards to the multidisciplinary aspect of the kuliah. We aim to also empower the multicultural aspect of the kuliah as well. So to uphold the Unity in Diversity campaign, as well as to invite open collaboration with the country-based societies in our efforts. We also plan to have a monthly engagement session with the international community in the works, and as well as further intensive engagement with the country-based societies for perhaps a peer support program for international students specifically. So, with regards to the third point, community engagement and strategic collaboration, as a start, within last month, we actually created a volunteering team for AHAS KIRKHS itself. So currently we have around 233 members in our Telegram group, which are ready to be deployed for community service programs. So, because of the flood crisis, we have initiated our first mission, which is to Pulangan, specifically to Batu 13, as well as Taman Seminandi for the volunteering efforts, which was held on the 26th of December 2021. So that was our first mission, and perhaps even further beyond the flood crisis, we can mobilize this group of volunteers for the engagement session with regards to the cleaning problems, cleanliness problems, and etc. So we can mobilize this group of people who are very passionate actually in terms of trying to engage with the community. So we believe that the spirit of community volunteerism, community engagement within our students is in line with the philosophy of the kuliah. And I believe that the role of the kuliah-based society is to translate that philosophy of the kuliah and convey it to the students with these community engagement activities. And this strategic, and with regards to the strategic collaboration part, we are collaborating with the relevant, in terms of externally with the country-based societies, as well as in terms of internally as well. We want to encourage cross-pollination of, as well as integration of human sciences and Islamic legal knowledge subjects, and in our efforts to serve the community around us and our programs as well. Number four, in the way forward, the fourth target is to enhance social media engagement, especially with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic. Social media has been seen for us in terms of as a very valuable aspect, especially with regards to information to the students. Especially in terms of our social media, we also have a website now, which acts as a one-stop center for students to gain academic announcements, settle academic matters, as well as we also provide in the kuliah financial assistance for not just local students as well as for international students as well. So this sort of like website is actually an official website on the domain of IIUM.edu.my, and it's for the our specific kuliah-based societies and KHS students. So we plan to enhance that social media engagement further, and by improving the website as well as promoting it to the fullest extent, as well as also sustaining, I believe, what is actual social media reform that we did last tenure from Instagram to Twitter and Facebook, and so on and so forth. So the fifth point is in terms of our educational, social, and intellectual role of the student society. We want to uphold the functions of the university as stated by UNESCO, the educational, social, and intellectual, in terms and reflect that in our student activities as well. And we also plan to invite Professor Kamal Hassan as well for a much more essentially adapting the talk that we had last time, and trying to adapt it in the possibly a face-to-face situation, as well as adapting. I think adaptation is the word here. Adaptation of the efforts that we have created in the last tenure and in the new situation. So, and lastly, with regards to the sixth point, which is being ready for post-COVID period. So we we still don't know in terms of the uncertainty of the situation, but we are ready as a kuliah-based society. We are ready to translate what has been started, established, as well as the philosophies of the kuliah to into the new norm, into a post-COVID, post-pandemic world, and inshallah, with proper guidance, with proper communication, we will manage to pave the way forward, and inshallah serve the educational, social, intellectual role of the university and reflect that in our student activities. I think that's all for my presentation today, and I thank you very much for the opportunity.
How much involvement have you got with the Kuliah project of the seven districts